think we're all in agreement that he's a fantastic player, Robbie, but the best goal scorer in the world?
I don't think he is. I mean, I know why Gareth's saying that, because obviously he's just won the game, and he is. He's mentioned being a great leader, and he's great in the dressing room. The lads love being with him, but. In terms of being a top-class striker, there's no doubt about that. But in terms of being the best goal scorer, I think there may be a few other top-class players out there who might
have something to say about that.
I mean, I don't even think he's the best in the Premier League, if I'm being honest. I think Aguero's an outstanding finisher. Obviously, you mentioned Salah as well, who's a wonderful finisher as well. But I know why Gareth said it.
It is difficult now because Robbie was a centre forward. I was a centre forward. Now, if you can pick out and out English centre forwards for us at Kane's level, you start to think, right, where do I go with this? Because Rashford isn't an out and out centre forward. Welbeck is, but he's not at Harry Kane's level. So, where's our next out and out centre forward?
You mentioned a list, Dion. Here's a list for you.
Okay. Harry Kane's standard. Level, nobody there is as good as Harry Kane as in regards.
I mean, it's a high benchmark that he's set.
Well, it is. But we're going off what the manager said. Danny Welbeck's been excellent with his goal return. Rashford potentially could be. Callum Wilson's now reared his head, saying, "Hold it a minute." Danny Ings, he knows he's not going to get himself loads and loads of caps. Glenn Murray, Andre Gray, Calvert-Lewin, again a young boy that could have it, and Troy Deeney's. There's nobody at Harry Kane's level, so we have to be careful by saying best centre forward, because is he the only world-class one we've got?
Did we miss the best English centre forward, because he's probably spot on it?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
And obviously, I think Dion, you're spot on him. Obviously, but we're not even mentioned Theo Walcott in that list. His record for England was not too bad. But goals per games, he is absolute quality.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think anyone can take that away from him.
No chance.
He is a real top.
Then we note a sound of caution in the sense of, if he's not available for England, do we then see? Is then that another test of Gareth Southgate's ability to manage? How do you make that same England team as dynamic without him in it?
We haven't officially retired, so
a benefit game if you want.
Gareth, is that you?
Does it mean the change formation? Does it mean they kind of evolve to deal with the potential possibility of not playing with it?
You would have to evolve, wouldn't you?
Well, look, I think there's ways around that. You think the way, obviously, Harry Kane plays now, and it's probably playing a little bit different to what he was a few years ago. He is dropping an awful lot deeper, which maybe...
Why is he doing that, Robbie?
I don't know. Just try and get more involved in the game. I think if you look at stats in terms of shots he has, he's probably less. So he's not going to score as many goals you'd imagine as what he has done. But what I'm saying here is, so if he does get injured, then you've got the likes of Rashford could go play maybe centrally. Raheem Sterling can play centrally. And we've got options for players who can come in on the channels as well. So there is a few options there. But in terms of out and out goal scorers. I.e. Harry Kane, then I think we would miss that type of player.
Well, we spoke about it briefly before we came on air, that because of the way the game's changed, and we hate saying this is old pros, but it has changed, because the formations have changed, and you play one up front more than often than not, and we always used to play two up front, big lad, little lad, it worked. But now it's like, you've got so many formations that change. There's very little cause now for an out-and-out centre-forward that just only scores goals. You have to do more than that, hence why Harry's now dropping off, pinging a ball from left back to right wing, which he can do, and looks comfortable doing. But it may hinder him as a goal scorer.
Do you think, is that something that you feel he's been asked to do? Is that something that comes naturally to him as a team player?
I think he naturally does it. And I think Robbie's right. He wants to get involved. He wants to play. He can... He's that good that he could play in midfield. He's that good.
But you'd like to see him up top, wouldn't you? Not spend too much time going back and
but look,
in theory, he's picking out a pass that he would love to receive himself, isn't he?
I think exactly. I think, I know why teams sort of play the way they do, and look, I know certainly we play three players in midfield because we want to have control, and then we can sort of, attack the way we want to. But for me, I think you should always have a focal point. For when the likes of Sterling out wide or Rashford out wide gets the ball, I want my centre forward to be in the box, to be scoring tap-ins all the time. As much as Harry Kane is an unbelievably talented player and can score goals from outside the box, at will, he's probably going to score more goals if he plays on the shoulder of defenders because he'll probably get more chances. Because if he starts dropping deep, you know, he's getting in the way for the likes of maybe Barkley, Sterling, if he wants to come inside, you know, and maybe England's attacking players or even Tottenham's attacking players. For, you know, for that.
Well, if we go back to what Gareth's actual statement was, I mean, Robbie said perhaps it's the euphoria, isn't it, after a wonderful result game, and as we said, a fantastic year of football from the national side. But is it also not just the fundamentals as a goalscorer, what he brings to that side? He seems the real totemic player for what he wants his England side to look like. Yeah, and you know what? If you could build physically a centre forward, your number 9, he's got the perfect physique. He's 6'4", 6'5". He's quick, he's powerful, and he scores goals, all kinds of goals. So that box is ticked. In regards having a captain that can do that and other things, and lead and talk and organise and take instruction on the pitch for the whole of the team, I don't think we've got a better captain, and we haven't, and not had one for a long time. And does that bode well? I was going to say moving forward, but then we tried to err on the side of him not being in the side. But as this team grows together, when we revert it back to it being 2018 and what a good year it's been, is it all inextricably linked to the fact that the manager's there, the fans are there, the players are there, and the relative youth of the team?
No, I don't think that's rocket science. I think we are. I mean, Dion's mentioned before, we're ticking every box. You know, the players are comfortable, the players are happy. You know, we're in the semi-finals of whether people will call it a major tournament. You know, that remains to be seen. But you know, we were there, and you know, we've got a chance of maybe winning something for England. We've not won nothing for. Well, since '60s, we're still the tournoi.
You know,
66. So.
You know, the other thing is as well, we've got to tip our hat to Gareth, and he's still learning. You know, he's not had loads of managerial experience at all. I like to call him the skipper because he was my captain at Villa. So Gareth's actually still learning on the job. But the way he went about the World Cup, you know, allowing the press to come in and the media to come in. Because a lot of the time, our tournaments have been lost through the pressure from the media. Players going under because they've had one game, media's gone, rubbish, shouldn't be playing, can't play Lampard and Gerrard together, and, you know...
It was even preempted in the Euros, wasn't it, when they said we were losing and we still were thinking about the headlines the next day as the game was going on.
Which is where we've let ourselves down. I think we've got to give praise to Gareth Southgate for dropping his guard and allowing the whole of the nation to know what's going on within reason. You know, the media come in and play a game of darts. We know what's going on. We can see all the training. Nothing's closed off. Very clever management, that, for me. Relaxing the players. Letting them go and do what they've got to do.
It strikes me, Dion, that you wouldn't take much relaxing either, though, mate, if he was your captain.
No. You know what? I used to love Gareth as the captain because he'd want you to do things that he wouldn't mind doing himself. And he was very vocal, very physical. I remember actually being 2 goals down against Arsenal at half-time at Villa Park, and we got absolutely hammered. Thierry Henry, Vieira, absolutely hammered us. Came in at half-time, and the manager said, right, lads. Gareth said, no, Gaffer, I'll do this. And he went down our throats, Gareth Southgate, swearing, you're playing for Villa, blah, blah, blah. And we literally went, okay. And that was
the manager wasn't happy, was he?
But we won 3-2.
Well, I mean, you've shared a dressing room with Gareth as well. Does what you see on the touchline in the suit reflect what you'd have seen in the dressing room or on the pitch?
Yeah, I think he was. He was one of them players who led by example. You know, how he trained was exactly the way he played. He was a little bit of a nightmare to train against because, you know, I was one of them. I was quite relaxed and, you know, I preferred to do all my football on the weekend or whatever the game was. You know, for him, it was, you know, 100% all the time. And, you know, you have to admire people like that because, you know, it's... Maybe some will say, well, he needed to because he wasn't as unbelievably talented as maybe some of them. But he gave us all the time. And you can see he does that with the England team. And obviously... What we'll say about Gareth is I think he surrounds himself by, you know, wonderful staff as well. You know, he doesn't want yes men. You know, he wants people who are backing him, and maybe if he does something wrong, then he's got that team around who will maybe put that right as well. So I think that's massively important as well.
Don't let him pull that waistcoat over your eyes. that will not happen because I'll tell you something now. If the ball's there and you're in his way and that person's about to score in his goal, he will take everything. And if it's in training, if it's in a game, he will do it, and then he'll apologise later on and say, sorry, you're in the way. That's the way it was ruthless.
Well, that's what I mean. What I was referring to when I trained against him. You know, and he'd be pulling my shirt, and I'm thinking, well, what's training? Well, I mean,
Leave me alone.
It's one of the easy day of training.
And then I played against him on the Saturday and scored an hat-trick.
Where are you now?
Hopefully he's
Where are
watching.
you?
Exactly.
Where are
Whatever
you?
happened to Gareth Southgate.